Okay, today we're going to be putting in our PSI conversion wiring harness for the LS53, and out of a 2005 drive-by-wire. Here's your computer connections, fuse box. It'll be going in here. I got the new firewall pad in. And it'll be going in inside first, and then it comes out. All the outside wires come out of this hole right here. Factory hole that was already in there for the other wiring harness. Comes out and hooks all into this. Coil packs, mass airflow sensors, injectors, anything that hooks up. And once I get all that outside stuff hooked up, I've got my wiring harness, the electrical side that goes to my starters and all that stuff. It'll be hooked into that wiring harness to give it power. Okay. I'm gonna lay this wiring harness out. Look at it. All right, we got it laid out, and as you can see, from here, this right here is what goes inside. From here to there is what goes outside. And it's just a matter of plugging all that in. Not much to it. Only problems, which they're not really problems, but all of this gob and this gob, that will go to various things according to what you got. You know, like it's gonna be going to my hot all the time, hot just when the key's on, and I got cruise in there with it, so that'll be some of that. Actually, I think that wire right here is my cruise wire. So yeah, the rest of that is just gauges and hot wire. All right, we will begin. Okay, we're going to attempt to pull this wiring harness through by ourselves. See how it goes. If not, we may have to get some hired help. All right, here we go. At least everything is going through the hole so far. quite challenging. Depending on which you do. Take my chain hoist off because it's something I've not done. All right, we have got most all the wiring through before the grommet. Yeah, we still got to go through, get the grommet to come up. Let me go inside for that. But all the wires that go in there. Okay, we're gonna have to sleeve this here right there, and like a hell. Just pull this mess here over here till we get to the grommet. Once we get the grommet in, we will sort out all the wires on the engine. Okay, let's see if we can get the grommet through. Now have the grommet to the hole. There you go. The grommet is in the hole. Whoop, hole. So the grommet fits. Okay, we went ahead and hooked all the wires up out here. I mean, it's kind of, you know, you think, oh no, I can't do it, but you know, it's not that bad. All plug-ins, no plug-ins will go into another plug-in, so as long as you identify everything, you pretty much know where they go. You know, injector wires, one coil pack wire for each side. You got your oxygen sensors that go down here. You got your battery wires, or your starter wires, and your crank sensor wire are together. You know, it ain't bad. Throttle body wire hooks there, and it's right at the end of your harness. You know that's right. It's just that one thing I noticed on this driver's side wiring harness, it goes around the bottom, so it can hook into your crank sensor in the bottom, and then it kind of runs up. It It kind of runs up and then runs around under your fuel rail and starts hooking into your injectors. And you get your wire, it comes up at the end of the harness. This will be your wire for your mass airflow sensor, alternator, and I forget what that was. But anyway, got all that. One thing I've noticed here that I don't have a wire for my drive-by-wire. I hope that ain't gonna be something that that may not be too good right there. I don't know where that would be. It's not in that harness. It's supposed to be because I had drive-by-wire. Okay, let me see. We'll go over here and I'll show you the inside. And here will be our wiring for the inside. Our computer hookups, fuel pump relays and fuses, other wires that has to be hooked up, I'll show later. Okay, that's kind of a wrap for installing the wiring harness, which took about 5 hours. Of course, breaks in between, but okay. Just have to find out about my drive-by-wire plug. That don't make sense. Okay, we're off. Okay, I ended up using the bracket for my computer, which this is the old computer. I got a new computer, which is the same one. Bought it from PSI, but it fit in that bracket, and I cut all the other parts off, other than where it mounts, and screwed it up into my dash underneath. That's the only place I could put that big thing. And this, I made this for this. It'll mount on there. And this will mount up in here beside my computer, and then I'll mount my wire box to it. And that's where that goes. And then we'll be ready to start running wires. Okay, I found out where the drive-by-wire plug is. They've put it on the inside. The 05, you know, to hook up to the little module there was on the outside. So I figured that's where they would put it, but they didn't. I found it in the wiring harness inside. So that makes it better. I can hook my little module up wherever it went. Anyway, I've got my computer mounted, my fuse box mounted, and all the underdash wires that I had. I run them in a new wire loom. Brought them all out right there. Right there is my plug for the drive-by-wire module. That's a good thing. Yep, I done got all my wire run. Here's my OBD2. I'll be running it. It comes out, and I'll be running it. I'll probably be putting it right here, under, close to the ashtray here. It'll be mounted like this. It'll be out of the way. I'll make sure nothing hits it. But yeah, like all the wires for the underdash wires are running through that, all over to the other side. I run my little red wire here and there. That will be going on my like the wire that run my coil to my distributor. That wire there does. And we'll We'll be hooking the rest of it up. Let me see. All this wire. Wire for my cruise. If I put cruise in it. Don't know if I'm gonna do that, but there's where my gas pedal goes, right there. So this little dude, let me see. Here's my module. That plug goes here. That plug goes in that. And this one, coming out here, will go into my pedal. On the pedal. So, next step, we will be installing our bulkhead here. The fuse, the rest of that comes off the fuse box. We'll be hooking that up so we can start running all those wires. Let me see if I can find this is actually not the one that went to this truck, but I'm going to cut this one up. Didn't want to cut my good one up. That went to the truck. So I will actually put this in and go through the wire. Let me see. Anyway. We'll be hooking that up. Okay, I got some of the wiring hooked up now. Went ahead and hooked my outside bulkhead up. I got the top red wire and then the bottom red wire. They will run to my alternator, so I run them through here, up through here, down around, down through there, through here, and into the box that I had with the positive battery cable. And I mounted them in here. I still got a wire loom, put a wire loom over everything. But I run it in the box. Brought it out the bottom. Fusible links in them. That's where I'll be getting my power to the inside of the truck. I run my purple wire to my starter through the same line, up, back, down, and back around with the positive cable. And it comes out over here with my cable, and that will be my purple wire that goes up in here. And I'm putting my temperature switch here. So I brought my green wire with it for that, and it'll be run. Got my temperature sending unit wire in there. So once I get purple wire here, I'll run the green wire there, and I'll have my temperature done. And here's the wires that go to the PSI wiring harness. These is where I'll be getting my power to charge them, to wake the computer up, give juice to it. Coming from my positive cable. And I don't have any, there's my gas wire, I got it ran. There's my oil temperature unit. I got it ran. And up here is my alternator wire, which I won't need, because with juice going through it, it's energizing my gauge anyway. And you know, here's my charging wire. It'll be in with my electrical, so everything that's got power will have the electrical charge going through it, so that those charge to my gauge. So there's not that many wires. All right, this is the wire that went to my distributor. I run it. I'm gonna be getting a plug for this. I'm gonna reopen that back up, and I'm gonna run this wire up there. Here's the wire coming from my fuel pump. I'm gonna run it up there, and that'll be probably the only two wires that I'll need inside for my fuel pump and my ignition relay. Fuel pump relay and my ignition relay. But I got my juice wire. I got my wire over there, my fuel pump relay running over here, coming out this harness. And that will go to the wire that was on my distributor. And I'm gonna wire in with it and put a fuse in it to run the fuel pump and the ignition wire over there. I'll have a 20 amp fuse in it, so it'll be running both of those. And then your TC switch, it goes on your brake. I had to buy another one of them. You've got to have this. You got to have that. That will go up in there in place where your original brake light, where you push the brake and the light comes on, that's where that'll go. That will send power to your torque converter, so it will unlock. It either locks or unlocks, I forget how it is. But I'll have to run my wires from their harness to this, and then my harness right here to that. I think it may be, it's either, I think this one is the one you run theirs to, a purple one, and from theirs, and then a white one goes to my white one, or a yellow one from theirs to this white one, and it hooks into these. So that, and it gets a 12-volt system, and I don't use a cigarette lighter, so I'm gonna run the wire from the cigarette lighter down to that. And that does that. And right now I'm waiting on a set of headers. I had to reorder headers because my shorties won't work. They get into everything as far as they're tight against the motor, and I don't like that. But I went ahead and ordered a set of long tube headers for that. And I'm waiting on some grommets to run my wire through. And I'm waiting on my adapter for my sending unit over here. I can screw it into that and then screw my, wherever it's at, my original sending unit into it. 3/8, I think. Yep, my original sending unit. Screw right into the adapter I bought. And I also ordered a check engine light. It gets wired up through one of their wires that comes out of here. This brown wire. And I'll probably cut it through my dash right here and put that little check engine light. It goes right there. That way if I get a code, that little check engine light comes on. And let's see what else. Yeah, just waiting on that stuff. Oh, my pedal. today, these pedals for this, all right, you see how to have them right, they need to be in line with that hole down there. Okay, today, and these pedals are not. These pedals, they come way over and down. So what I done today, I took it to work, heated it up, bent it straight. Then I had to bend this part back that way. Because once I bent it, everything was like that. I bent it just a little past that hole right there. So I could bend my pedal right there back. And just kind of throwed it in line. And now it looks like this. So if you're wanting to know how you get the drive-by-wire pedal and you stick those out of the truck in there and it ain't working, that's what you can do. And see how it sits in there. All right. The only problem is it sits up too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut it here and probably cut about an inch out of it. And then weld them together, and that should give me, well, what I'll do is I'll do is just cut it, I'll mount it in and set my pedal back to where it needs to be, and then I'll cut whatever I need off. So that'll give me what I need on a pedal, and then I should be really close. I guess after that it'll be I'll be putting my radiator support on so I can get my water hooked up, and my fenders on so I can get my battery mounted. But yeah, I was wanting to fire this thing up, just throw enough stuff on it to fire it up, but I ain't gonna be able to do that. You gotta have everything on it and hooked up and running so it won't throw no codes. So I guess that's what I'll do. When I get everything hooked up, I get my grommets in, I'll show you how I run the wires, how that looks, and I'm probably gonna hook this. This is my negative coming from my fuel pump. But what I'll probably do is when I hook my negative cable up, it's got a long wire. I guess I'll hook it to the frame, and I'll hook my ground cable from my gas tank or my fuel pump to that. So that'll be a good ground. Good ground, I still got a lot of grounds to put in. I'm going to, I'll be grounding all this a whole lot better before I'm done, but I still got a lot of work, so. All right, I'm gonna get off and appreciate it.